welcome to everyone. Our theme for today is Parents' Day. We celebrated parenthood in so many ways. Personally speaking, I have never been a parent to a human child, but I am a proud mom of three cute dogs, Nila, Bella, and Pixel. I cannot describe my unconditional love for them. My first question to you is, why do we celebrate Parents' Day? Well, the day aims to promote responsible parenting. It celebrates the special bond of love between parental figure and children. Our parents may not be perfect, but they are the most perfect gift that God has ever given you. On this occasion, I would like to share a special message from my dad. And this is, according to him, a father helps to grow and discipline a child. A father's role has a large impact and help shape the child into the person he and she becomes. A father provides a feeling of security, both physical and emotional. He leads, supports, and protects the family. My father is a role model. He inspires me in so many ways. Now, let's begin. Before that, I would like you all to please be mindful that today will be a day of strong emotion and feelings. Some will feel proud, happy, satisfied, or even feel guilty for some reasons we cannot even describe. I request you all to think of a thought or a message that you would want to share to express your sincere gratitude to your parents. My aim today is to make sure that everyone has a chance to express their feelings and gratitude to their parents or becoming a parent. I would like to pick someone from the audience to start with. Yam Sharif, can you please tell us your feeling or any message you would want to share with us?
Thank you, Divya. I would summarize by a sentence for a mother. It is said, and I believe it from the bottom of my heart, paradise lies under a mother's feet. This represents the whole thing. Why are we here? Everything you want to have, everything you want to acquire, go to your parents, go to your mother. And I've been told, and I've been educated like that, that even you don't have to say an oof to your parent. Be mindful to the parent. For the world, you're somebody, and for somebody, you're the world. Over to you.
Definitely, that's true. Can we hear from one of the guests? David.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. To respect, to honor, and most of the time obey.
Okay. Thank you. And just to tell you, I just got a message from our Toastmaster Faisal that he just got blessed with a grandchild this week. And that's a great news to express his gratitude as a grandparent. Moving on, our first role player for tonight is our grammarian Toastmaster Shivani, who has depicted the word of the day. Over to you, Shivani.
Good evening, everyone. My role as a grammarian is to make not only this, my role is also to highlight during the meeting. So I would like to share the word of the day.
Shivani, we have a connection problem.
Can you see I've shared visible to you, all of you?
No. So what we'll do is we will actually share. The word of the day has been shared in the group, in the chat group. Maybe we can take TM Shivani description of the word later on. But moving on, let's hear from our timer, TM Uma, who is the guardian of time. Over to you, Uma.
Good evening, TME and fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Today we have a full session with a lot of things, 3 speeches and an educational session and the table topics session plus the evaluation. The 3 speakers will be taking, the first speaker will be taking 4 to 6 minutes. Second and third speakers will take 5 to 7 minutes for their speeches. And the educational session is set for 15 minutes. So the timing would be 10 minutes for green, 14 minutes amber, and 15 minutes red for the education session. The speakers will be 4, 5, and 6, 5, 6, and 7 for their respective speeches. Table topics is for 1 to 2 minutes. So green at 1, amber at 1 and 30 seconds, and red at 2 minutes. Evaluations would be to 2 to 3 minutes, green at 2, 2 minutes 30 seconds amber, and red at 3. We are somewhere right on time, but lagging here and there. It's okay, I think we'll catch up. Back to you, TME.
Thank you, TM Uma. We have our egg counter, TM Vishali, who will profoundly listen to your speaking skills. Over to you, Vishali.
Madam Tammy, fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, good evening. My role tonight is that of the accountant. I will be counting the number of unnecessary sounds like or repetitive words you may use while speaking. These are filler words that affect the effectiveness of a speech. I will present my report when called upon by the general evaluator. Back to you, Madam Tammy.
Thank you very much. Before moving on, we have a guest that is among us, Amita, right?
Yes.
Can you please introduce yourself and welcome to our club?
Yeah. Thank you so much, dear. Good evening to all of you. Well, my name is Amita, and I am a Toastmaster for the past 4 years now. We were living in many countries, and the last country that we lived in was Qatar, where I and my husband, Chris Da, who is sitting next to me, we joined the Toastmasters. And he was the president. He's still the president of that club, and I am the VPE. Right now, I've won the evaluation contest, and I'm going at the district level in Qatar. Our district is called District 116, which is a newly formed district. And because he's a Mauritian, I'm an Indian by birth, but I'm in Mauritius now because we have to come back to our home country. So I thought, why not? I just wanted to get in touch with the Toastmasters here. And then I found this Plateau Toastmasters. Am I right in saying Plateau?
Yeah, definitely right.
Yeah, so it was great to join you all in this meeting, and I look forward to hearing all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much and welcome to our club. We are so pleased to have you on board. Thank you. Moving on, we have our first speaker, a young, dynamic gentleman, always ready to help. He plays his role as a VPM so well, and our to-be VPE in his next mandate. Like father, like son, every good tree makes good fruits. He's on the right track and following his father's step to become a successful leader. Let's welcome Toastmaster Farhan, who's attempting his icebreaker speech under pathway, persuasive influence. But before that, let's invite his evaluator to read out his speech objectives. Over to you, TM Roshan.
Thank you, Madam TME. And Farhan's speech today will be under pathways. He's attempting his first project, i.e. the icebreaker. For an icebreaker, he just needs to introduce himself and speak for about 4 to 6 minutes. There is no major objectives for the icebreaker speech. He just needs to start speaking in front of an audience. All the best, Farhan, for your speech.
Thank you.
Over to you, Farhan. Good luck.
I broke up with the love of my life. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, yes, you heard it right. I broke up a few months back. My wounds are not still healed. I wasn't so sure if I should be sharing this in my Toastmasters speech, but I thought Toastmasters is like my extended family. And in the past, I have shared my happiness with you. And why not sharing my breakup story in this meeting? The bond that I had with her for the last several years is gone. I almost grew up with her since my childhood days, and she became really, really close to me. At one point in time, we even exchanged vows to stay together for life. But today, we are separated. She was the reason why I was able to grow fast, prodigiously, on all dimensions. But when she started affecting my real progress, I decided to part ways from her and said, "Sweetie, I hate you." She is the reason why nearly 26% of Mauritian adults are suffering from diabetes today. It is equivalent to the entire population of the state of Gujarat in India having diabetes. My sweetest vision for Mauritius is to make the island the diabetes capital of the world by 2025. She kills more people than both HIV and breast cancer combined. Friends, when a poet admires a beautiful woman, she calls her using different names. Similarly, when a corporate admires Sweetie, They use her in the processed food and call her using different names. She is called sucrose, maltose, dextrose, glucose, cane juice, among many others. She gets into our lives so easily. The most common form of her entering our life is through the drinks that we often have, coffee and cold drinks. When we prepare a cup of coffee, we add a spoon of her. We add another spoon. But when they prepare a can of Coke, they add a spoon of sweetie, another sweetie, up to 10 spoons of sweetie. Friends, a can of Coke can add 160 calories to your body. Let us put this into perspective. You used to serve yourself a glass of cold drinks at the end of meetings at Bhavan. If you happen to attend 6 meetings in a row and have 6 glasses of cold drinks, you will put on 1 kg of weight. And in order to burn those extra calories and lose this weight, you will actually have to walk on the treadmill for about 30 minutes daily for 7 days in a row. Sweetie is next to God. She is omnipresent. She is present everywhere. She is in the canned juice that you drink. She is in the cake that you eat. She is in the chocolate bars that you munch. She is everywhere. Escaping from her is very, very difficult. She also has a cousin sister called Fatty. Anytime you have more of Sweetie, she gets transformed by our body into Fatty. Fatty is more harmful to our body than Sweetie because she gets to your heart faster than Sweetie. They both compete with each other to take control of your life. It is absolutely impossible to get rid of Sweetie from your life. She is like this ghost that we see in horror movies. They will come back at the end for the next episode. And most of the times, Sweetie comes in front of us like a modern girl in a processed form with lots of makeover, with lots of glittering ornaments, and with lots of shiny clothes. However, her younger sisters, the Jaggery, Palm Jaggery, and Honey, are like those village girls, exhibiting natural beauty. They are good for you. You can substitute the processed Sweetie with her unprocessed sisters like the Jaggery, Palm Jaggery, and Honey. Dear friends, today, several millions and millions of people are getting addicted to Sweetie, knowingly or unknowingly. She is as deadly as drugs. It is easier to say, Sweetie, I hate you at the very start than trying to get married to her and then get divorced later on by running on the treadmill. A few months back, I developed the guts to look straight into her eyes and say, Sweetie, I hate you. Dear friends, I challenge you to join me in this race to say, together, Sweetie, I hate you. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Farhan. Indeed, sweetie, I hate you too. And I wish her good luck in her next boyfriend search. Timer, can you please allocate 1 minute of to evaluate Farhan's speech? Thank you. Please send your evaluation in private message to Farhan. One minute of feedback to Farhan.
Time up.
Okay, thank you very much. Moving on. My second speaker is none other than Mr. Idioms, as I always call him. No one ever misses to read his cheerful notes or funny interpretations as he describes someone or an event for a fact. A current squatter of his daughter's bedroom during Zoom sessions, and a humorist that never fails to make belly laughs out of us. Let's welcome TM Subiraj, who is attempting his speech on the pathway innovative planning. Before that, his evaluator, TM Sharif, will read out his speech objective. Over to you, Sharif.
Thank you, Madam Tiami. So the purpose of the speech of Subiraj is to practice developing and presenting a proposal. Subiraj, all the best. Timing is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Madam Tiami.
Thank you. Good luck, Subiraj.
Yeah, before starting timer, wait a minute. I just want to rectify that I am not a squatter. In fact, it is a love between child and parents that my daughter has given me this room tonight. So this is something that we are trying to show, love between parents and child. Now, in a few minutes, I will start.
Great, over to you.
Okay. Why are you looking so hungry like this? Are you expecting food for the gas station? I'm sorry, this is not our plan tonight. Dear fellow Toastmasters, dear fellow prodigious Toastmasters and guests, whether you are a parent or a child, good evening. My plan tonight is to present a proposal for a project which will have positive impact in my own personal life, professional life, and Toastmasters life. And the following is an executive summary of the project. In fact, I intend to popularize the principle of encounter amongst my office colleagues without any need for them to join Toastmasters for now. With this approach, I intend to find a quick enhancement in the quality of communication within my workplace. Second, to increase the membership of Toastmasters, maybe in medium term, but not necessarily for my club, my own club. As an introduction, let me explain how I shall proceed. Firstly, I will discreetly listen to the conversation of one or two selected colleagues who work around me in the office, and I will prepare an accounting report for each of them. This observation, I will do it for some 5 random days, but scattered over 1 month. Why 1 month? Because sometimes people don't speak the same way always. Sometimes you use a set of vocabularies 1 week, next time you learn new vocabularies, you use new types of words. That's why I want to do the accounting observation one day per week, but scattered into 5 different, scattered in 1 month. Secondly, at the end of the observation period of 1 month, I will consolidate the 5 accounting reports, and prepare a form of charts and graphs for each of them. The need for this proposal can be stated in terms of necessity and its benefits. As far as its necessity is concerned, I feel it is important because ever since I myself joined Toastmasters, I got to know, and when I got to know about accountant role, I became too mindful of accountant. And I keep on checking everybody is speaking, what mistakes they do. Consequently, I keep focusing on their abusive use of filler words and crutch words, which distract conversation. On the other hand, since one of the Toastmasters' promise is to help others, I believe my approach will benefit non-Toastmasters and myself in 2 ways. Firstly, there will be more skilled speakers around me. And the quality of speech will be communication will be much better. Secondly, the situation will help myself because I will be, since I will know that I will be listened or observed by my peer group, my peer members. So I will be very careful, even in office, not to do this accounting mistake. Otherwise, it's only in Toastmasters Club that we do, or we try to be careful. Now let me share with you one plan that I intend to use. Give me 1 second. I want to share one screen. This is a plan. It's a lot of elements there. In brief, let me give you a few items in that. First of all, I will discuss and seek approval from my head of department to do this observation. And this one I have already done. Secondly, I will secretly identify 1 or 2 colleagues whom I identify as test speakers. Then I will make a counter report by listening to them. Afterward, I will repeat this process I explained to you over one month. Afterward, I prepare a report. I will call, and then I will call the test speakers to call them, and then share with them my observation. And then I ask them whether I can share it with my other colleagues. If they don't agree, I can at least share the statistics and without their names. Later on, I can call other people, other members who are interested with this principle or this concept of accountant, and then explain to them what is the benefit of it. And later on, maybe I will encourage them, each of them to be their own accountant for each of them. And in this way, afterward, I can on a regular basis, maybe on a monthly basis or quarterly basis, I can do a meeting and check what is the status. So this is my plan. Now, after analyzing the need for this project, I noted that there are not much consequent financial costs that will be involved in this project. The only resource will be to my own resource, my own service. So I will be doing the accounting report. And since the project is targeted to my staff members, to my colleagues, I can use the stationery and like computers and printers from the office. It should not be a big issue. It won't cost too much. There's no need for big budgeting. With this proposal, my vision for the future makes me foresee 3 expected outcomes. I will have around me, like I explained already, colleagues who are very well conversant with accounting, and then this will help me to become better. Also, people finally will be interested with Toastmasters after getting this notion of accountant. So, dear friends, my objective here is therefore to give my colleagues a taste of what Toastmasters mean before even they join a club. This is what I call degustation of Toastmasters, similar to a piece of biscuit that we get at the supermarket. They give you a piece to taste, and very often, after eating a small piece, you tend to buy the whole piece, a lot of boxes of biscuit. This is what I want to achieve. Give them a small piece of taste of Toastmasters. Finally, they join Toastmasters. And in the long run, or medium run, or maybe short run, this will benefit membership, not only for my club, maybe for TI itself. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Subiraj. Indeed, I myself tend to actually look at people when they speak and see whether they are using crutch words or filler words as well. But very nice speech. TM Uma, timer, can you please allocate 1 minute for feedback? Everyone, can you please send your feedback to Toastmaster Subiraj in private chat? Thank you.
Time up.
Thank you, timer. My third speaker for the prepared speeches is a charming lady, always flashing a big and beautiful smile that makes wonders. For one thing I know, her speeches are always clean structured. She is so poised and readily engages with her audience. Let's welcome Toastmaster Mira, who is attempting her speech under Pathway Motivational Strategies. Before that, let's invite her evaluator to read out her speech objective. Over to you, Toastmaster Jeshta.
Good morning, good evening, everyone. For this project, Toastmaster Mira will be acting as a lecturer teaching management to her students via Zoom session. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized and well-researched speech on any topic. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style the member chooses. The speech content and style should work well together. And the speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Jeshta. Over to you, Toastmaster Mira.
I was muted, sorry. Good morning, students. Today, we are going to have our management lessons via Zoom. As this is not the normal classroom, I have brought to you 5 spicy, interesting stories to help you remember these lessons. These stories were sourced from the HBR, Harvard Business Review of June 2019. So let's start. Lesson number 1. A man is getting into the shower just as his wife is finishing up her shower. When the doorbell rings, the wife quickly wraps herself in a towel and runs downstairs. When she opens the door, there stands Bob, the next door neighbor. Before she says a word, Bob said, "I'll give you 2,000 rupees to drop that towel." After thinking for a moment, the woman drops her towel and stands naked in front of Bob. After a few seconds, Bob hands her 2,000 rupees and leaves. The woman gets back to her husband upstairs. The latter asked, "Who was that?" "It was Bob, the next door neighbor," she replied casually. "Great," the husband says. "Did he say anything about the 2,000 rupees he owed me?" Moral of the story: if you share critical information pertaining to credit and risk with all your shareholders in time, you may be in a position to prevent avoidable exposure. Lesson number 2. A priest offered a nun a lift. She got in and crossed her legs, forcing her gown to reveal a leg. The priest nearly had an accident. After controlling the car, he stealthily slid his hand up her leg. The nun said, "Father, remember Psalm 129? The priest removed his hand, but changing gears, he let his hand slide up her leg again. The nun once again said, "Father, Remember Psalm 129? The priest apologized. Sorry, sister, but the flesh is weak. Arriving at the convent, the nun sighed heavily and went on her way. On his arrival at the church, the priest hurried to look at Psalm 129. It said, "Go forth and seek further up. You will find glory." Moral of the story: if you are not well informed in your job, you might miss a great opportunity. Third lesson, my dear students. A sales rep, an administration clerk, and the manager are walking to lunch when they find an antique oil lamp. The rabbit and a genie came out. The genie said, "I'll give each of you just one wish." Me first, says the admin clerk. "I want to be in the Bahamas, driving a speedboat without a care in the world." Poof, she was gone. Me next, says the sales rep. "I want to be in the Hawaii, relaxing on the beach with my personal masseurs, an endless supply of pina coladas, and the love of my life." Poof, he was gone too. "Okay, you're up," the genie said to the manager. The manager said, "I want those two idiots back in the office after lunch." Moral of the story: always let your boss have the first say. Our fourth story goes like this. An eagle was sitting on a tree resting, doing nothing. A small rabbit saw the eagle and asked him, "Can I also sit like you, doing nothing?" The eagle answered, "Sure, why not?" So the rabbit sat on the ground below the eagle and rested. All of a sudden, a fox appeared, jumped on the rabbit, and ate it. Moral of the story: to be sitting and doing nothing, you must be sitting very, very high up. Our fifth lesson and last one. A turkey was chatting with a bull. "I would love to be able to sit on the top of the tree," sighed the turkey, "but I haven't got the energy." "Well, why don't you nibble on some of my droppings?" replied the bull. "They are packed with nutrients." The turkey pecked at the lump of the dung and found that actually it gave him enough energy to go to the branch up. Finally, when the turkey was proudly perched at the top of the tree, he was promptly spotted by the farmer, who shot him dead. Moral of the story: bull might get you to the top, but it won't keep you there. So, my dear students, how to become a great manager? You have to share critical information on credit and risk. You have to learn every detail in your job. You have to listen to what the boss has to say first. To be sitting idle, you need to be in the chief's seat. And last but not least, bullsh never brings permanent success. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Mira. Oh, should I say, thank you very much, Miss, for the beautiful short stories and moral. Moving on, timer, please allocate 1 minute for feedback to Mira.
Time up.
Thank you. Our fourth and last speaker for tonight is another supermom who does all the fun activities, avid of sharing new insights into emotions and eager to pick our brains and everlasting thoughts. A magnificent lady who holds a PhD in communication and body language. So let's welcome Toastmaster Dr. Vandita Ladku. She will grace us with her presentation on one of the educational items entitled Tug of War on Emotions. Over to you, Toastmaster Vandita.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmasters Divya. Well, hello everyone. There were two neighbors. One was very rich and one was very poor. The rich one had a beautiful house, two Mercedes, one beautiful wife, sexy wife, swimming pool, yard, good job, wow. The next one was poor. No job, dirty yard and small house. He had nothing to do all day. His job was envying the rich neighbor. He couldn't see the neighbor with his sexy wife having candle dinner and driving his good car. So his emotions started becoming a stone. And he said, I'm going to make his life difficult. So he took all the garbage in his yard and threw it at the rich one yard, and which went into his swimming pool and threw into the basket. The rich neighbor saw that and he said, okay, our dinner is ruined, so let us clean it. So he started cleaning his yard, his swimming pool and yard, and he saw the basket and recognized that it is from a neighbor. So what he did, he had a mango tree full of ripe mangoes. He plucked them and filled up the basket and gave it to the poor neighbor. The poor neighbor enraged and he said, what he thinks of himself, let me give him another lesson. This time, he took 2 baskets of garbage with dog poops and cat poops and lots of garbage and threw them. The rich neighbor filled up the 2 baskets and gave it back. This kept going for 2 weeks and finally he was enough of it and he said, I need to speak to the neighbor. The poor one told the neighbor, the rich one, I'm giving you garbage every day. Why are you giving me mangoes? And I got so many mangoes, I had to sell them. Well, I made money, but why are you doing so? I wanted to enrage you. The rich neighbor said, you know, you're giving me what you have, I'm giving you what I have. So this is the emotion. What you have is what is your emotion inside you. How do you master your emotion? I browsed today on Wikipedia. Wikipedia said that there exist 72 kinds of emotion. I digged more and I came across a website, a psychological website, which says there are 4,000 emotions, exist 4,000 emotions, and we all deal with them every day. Be it fear, anger, happiness, sadness, envy, jealousy, it's a turmoil. But maintaining it is difficult, but it will make your personality. Benjamin Franklin said, those things which hurt instruct. So your emotion instruct you. We sometimes become the victim of a drama mind. We keep on thinking. And when we think, sometimes we tend to go negatively. How to deal with these emotions? How to deal with people who are frustrated? Let me give you an example. Let me pick up 2 people in our audience. Suppose, when I say suppose, means it's not true, okay? I'm just saying suppose. I'm just speaking at random. Let us say I'll pick Yankoj and Subiraj. Yankoj and and Subiraj are working together in the same company. And it happened that both of them are wooing one lady. Well, they are both married, it's okay, but they are attracted to one lady. And both are fighting over her. Yankar said, she's mine. Subiraj said, no, she's mine. Yankar said, no, I took her for lunch. Subiraj said, no, she came to my bedroom. Well, Subiraj, it's not true. I'm just joking. Don't take it personally. They kept fighting and and they were fighting. And finally, they go to work. Do you think that Yankaj and Subiraj will be able to talk to each other? And suppose they have a board meeting together, or we have a presentation together. There will be still this tug of war of emotion. So, do you think they will be able to be productive at work? Do you think they will be a happy person at home? No, because this emotion kept triggering them. In fact, life is a journey of emotion. It determines the quality of your life. It makes your personality. So master it. Do not sweat over small stuffs. Indeed, if we take our life, we examine our life, we experience lots of problems, happiness, good time. But how do we manage them? Do we often pour our frustration on others? Or when others pour on us, what is our reaction? Do we take their frustration to make our life? Sometimes we do so. I will share with you 5 sentences which it happened that I started practicing these 5 sentences and it changed my life. These sentences will be attached to some real life stories. The first one is, make peace with imperfection. Nothing is perfect. Sometimes we tend to get angry because something is not right. Suppose I come back home and my house is a mess. I start shouting and say, why is my house a mess? Well, I'm pouring more frustration. I could have said, okay, my house is a mess, at least it's not like a museum, like dead. Let me try to make things. Today, my daughter taught me something about make peace with imperfection. She doesn't like fish. She doesn't like fish which smells. She tells me, it's fishy, mommy. So today, I prepared steamed fish for her and I gave it to her with love. She acknowledged the love. But for her not to hurt me, she told me unconsciously, mommy, it's back. It's back, mommy. So she was managing her emotion to please me. So she made peace with imperfection. I hugged her. The second one is be aware of your snowball effect. I'm sure you have experienced it. When you start thinking of something, small petty things, it becomes bigger, 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 bigger. And finally, you feel like it's turning your head a big weight. I bet it happened to you many times. Well, if you master it, you will be able to kick it off. Here is the attached story. It's a real story, okay, which made like an impact in my life. I was working in a company and had a colleague, a female colleague. Let us put a fictitious name with her, Rita. Rita was so attached to her husband. Well, I am attached to my husband too, but hers is different. During a day, she will call her husband many times. Whereas for me, I will say goodbye, sweetheart, and evening, I will say hello, sweetheart. During the day, it's our word, we go apart. I mean at work. Rita called her husband at 9:30, hello, sweetheart, have you eaten? 10, hello, love, how are you? Is your meeting over? 10:30, hello, love, I'm getting bored. How are you? What are you doing? Have you taken your snacks? And it keeps going. On that day, it was different. She called her husband at 10, no answer. 10:30, no answer. 10:45, 11, 11:10, no answer. And then she came to me. Vandita, I'm calling my husband. He's not picking up the call. And my humor was in me. I was in full swing of my humor. I started teasing her. I said, you know, he just recruited a personal secretary who is sexy, so maybe he's with him. Oh my God, what did I say? It made her world upside down. She started doubting her husband, and I was teasing her. I would just put in humor. And she told me, oh my God, maybe, do you think so? I said, no, I was teasing you. It's okay. Just carry on. Keep calling him. Maybe he will pick up. 11:30, 11:45, 11:55, noon. She comes and tells me, you know, I called him, 5 times more, and he didn't pick up. Now it's lunchtime. He has to be here. He is in his lunch time. Well, I told her, maybe, okay, it's okay. Maybe he's busy. She told me, no, he doesn't have any meeting today. I know his schedule. At 12:30, she comes to me and says, Vanita, do you think he has gone for lunch with her secretary? Oh my God. I said, please forget about it, work. At 1 o'clock, she again comes to me. Vanita, I'm worried. Maybe they are really together. She was disturbing me. Now she was disturbing me. Guys, at 2 o'clock, she came to me with something amazing. She told me, Vandita, you know, there is a guest house near to his office. Do you think they're together? I said, come on, Rita, you know, you're thinking too much. Stop it now. At 2:15, she comes and said, Vandita, do you think he has removed her clothes? Oh my God. Oh, that was incredible. And at 3 o'clock, she received a call from her husband. The husband was in the hospital. What happened is that a fire broke in the office, and he was busy retrieving all the confidential documents and looking at after the workers, employees, and so on, and he got bruised, and he was in the hospital. Whole day, Rita didn't work because of the snowball effect of his thinking and emotion. It became big. Be aware of it. Once you start overthinking, kick it. It will go. You are the master of yourself and your emotion. Third thing, resist the urge of criticizing. I know it's difficult. Resist it. I tried. Believe me, it was not easy. My mother-in-law, who is my best friend, I always come to her after work, like, you know, Mira, you know, this and that happened. Do you know what Mr. X wore today? Oh, he was handsome. These gossips. And sometimes some critics come along. And on that time, I stopped. I resist myself. It was difficult. It was like I wanted to puke something, but I resist. I wanted to vomit it. I resist. It was difficult. After 1 week, it became a habit. But okay, stop it. Don't criticize. It's okay. And I realized that I wasted my time talking about things which is not important to me. And within this 1 week, which I resist criticizing, I made good things. I started reading, doing DIY. I started doing working on self-development, and I realized time is precious. Let me work on myself instead of talking about others. This was a good self-development, and I'm happy about it. The fourth thing, write down stubborn positions, 5 stubborn positions, and see how you can soften them. Divya, can you tell me one stubborn position that you need to soften?
My hand gestures.
Hand gestures, okay. And second?
Second. Using of perhaps crutch words or something between speeches.
Okay, never mind. I'll ask Praveen about it. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay. fact, this is again, these 5 points I'm sharing with you, these are difficult points, but I'm trying to share, like, work on it. Fifth one, think about your problem as a potential teacher. Tell me, 10 years back till now, how many problems did you get? I bet lots. Did this problem help you to be mature, stronger, and wise? Yes. Why, when we get a problem now, we complain about it, we cry over it, we get frustrated and depressed, and we pour our frustration on others? Can't we think like, okay, let me face it. This will help me to be stronger. In fact, this taught me a big lesson in my life. Well, many problems, all my problems. The biggest one was in 2015 when I lost my baby, and someone came to me and told me, Uma, you're stressing me. Sorry, give me 1 more minute. You know, Vandita, you lost your son, but 10 years later, you will realize that it was for good. I wanted to kill that man at that time because I wasn't suffering. But I didn't have to wait for 10 years. A year later, I realized that losing my son made me strong, made me a strong mother, made me a strong lady. And now I look at death in another angle, acceptance. So this is how problems teach us lots of things. And mastering our emotion define our personality. And the last thing is live this day as if it was the last one. And this is how you will manage your emotions beautifully. Over to you, Timmy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vandita. Wow, very nicely said. Definitely, we will all try to master our emotions. And don't you worry, you can ask Praveen about how I manage my emotions. Yes. Okay, thank you very much. Moving on. I wanted to share a message from one of our super mom. And the super mom, unfortunately, could not be here among us tonight, but she actually shared a message which I'm sharing with you tonight. And this message is from Ishrat Banda. Ishrat, according to her, parenthood is she always wanted to have kids of her own, lots of kids. The best thing for her about being a parent is simply being a parent. Adjusting to being a parent has touched her at every level to such an extent that the emotional demands of parenthood have at times outrun the emotional rewards of having children. But she believes there are hidden blessings in every struggle. On that note, I wanted to ask one of our guests, Toastmaster Amita, if you can unmute yourself and share a message or a thought that express your gratitude as a parent or to your parent. Over to you.
Thank you, TME, for giving me this opportunity. Indeed, when I heard what one of your Toastmaster friends were talking about parenthood, though parenthood is struggle and the emotional up and down involved in it, but I think I'm just so thankful to the God to give me 2 kids who are so awesome and lovely, and without them, I wouldn't really be the person I am today. Actually, we become too ambitious at workplace sometimes, but when I got my kids, I realized the value of caring, giving giving away without expectation. So there's a lot of learning that happened in my life, and I think I matured better due to my children. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Amita. Can we have Kiran? If you can unmute yourself, can we hear from you? A thought or a message that you want to share with us.
Hello, everybody. Parenthood for me is being more sensitive, not only towards our children, because this being parent, being mother or a father or any type of parents, you are more emotionally attached to someone. You are more sensitive to other environment also, to the environment also. I mean, in the way that you have more affection towards any other's kids also. It can be a sister's kid. You have some love. It's not, if it is not to the same standard that you have for all your own children, but you do have care and love and affection to share to others, close relative children. Like for me, like for instance, is that my nephew will always will still call me a mom, because I'm that image for him, and I try to my best to represent that level, and also to be here not only for my son. I have a son, and for him also. We are only two sisters, and we have only I have a son, and he has a son too. So I try to be here, and I try to represent that image for him also. Now, I say that when we have to be sensitive, because we are parents, and we know that we have to set the example. We have to see, we have to set, we usually try to raise, to bring our children to the best level possible, but also we have to be sensible towards, I mean, the weak also, the weak part of the world also, which are animals. We have to be sensible towards them also. We have to care for the environment. We have to care for the animals, and try to see, because they don't have a voice, we can represent and be a voice for them. Thank you very much, Divya. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Kiran. Don't forget, at the end of the session, we will have a toast of the evening, and I would like everyone to have at least one toast or a mug or something. We'll have a quick toast at the end of the session. Don't forget, you can fill your mug with beer, whatever you want, sweeties, except for Farhan. One last Toastmaster I would like to ask to share the message. Our G, also the president, if you can unmute yourself and share a message about parenthood.
Thank you, Toastmaster Divya. Being a parent was quite a surprise to me 14 years ago. I didn't expect to be a parent so soon. At that point in time, I didn't know how to be a parent. I didn't when I was watching the baby when they were just born. I didn't even know how to react to holding them or cajoling them. But now, after 14 years of being a parent, I see that it transforms your life, not only 360 degrees. I think it should be 720 degrees, because it takes quite a toll on you. It changes your life for the better. Sometimes you get stressed with your environment, but you still have to be a parent. And being a parent is quite a wonderful thing. But the most important thing is you learn how to be a parent from your parents. The mm, the respect that you get is what the respect you give to your children. So I think being a parent is quite and is quite an amazing thing, really. And for those of you who are going to be parents, good luck. And especially for those who we will have to wake up at night at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning to feed the babies. Good luck, but it's a wonderful feeling. Those who have gone through it will tell you about it. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you very much, G and Mr. President. Let's move on to our second session of our today's online meeting. Our table topic master joined Toastmasters back in 2015 after following Speechcraft with Mr. Baktua and Mr. Balen Vayapuri, a participant in the humorous speech at National Convention some few years back. Inspired by members of the club and those who know him, he loves to inspire and expire in order to give himself a good physical condition. Any guesses? Let's welcome our inspire and expire guy, Toastmaster James Brighty. Over to you.
Hi everybody. It's a pleasure for me to be your Toastmaster, your table topic master this afternoon. So without further delay, let's start. I'm going to share my screen. So okay, share. Okay, can you all see it? Yeah, okay. So I will read the question first and then I will pick someone from the crowd. Okay? So this is my first question. You woke up tomorrow and found that you are of the opposite sex. What are the first three things you will do and why? You woke up tomorrow and found that you are of the opposite sex. What are the first three things you will do and why? Mr. Krish Ramcharan.
Oh wow, dream come true. Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master. I have of the opposite sex. I'm a woman, or like I like to call it when I'm drunk, a woman. So what happens when I get under the skin, in the shoes of someone of the fairer sex? Well, three things are going to happen. Number one, I'm going to slap myself just to make sure it has happened. Number two, I will definitely try on one of those dresses my home minister buys and cherishes because I have no understanding on why they collect it. They don't buy, they collect dresses, denizens of dresses and shoes. So I will try a sari, a red one, and high heels and lots of makeup just to see whether I'm going to be completely silly or completely wonderful. And number three, I will go and pamper myself because yes, just like our speaker Mira, I would like to have, not like Mira, but like in one of the stories, I'd like to have a masseur, a strong, handsome bloke do this to my back in the right sense of the words. Do this and send me into slumber because guess what? The best masseurs are men because of the strength. And when you get that, and that's the best thing about being a lady in these times, in this generation, I think it's better to be a woman than a man. So yes, those are the three things I would do. Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Krishan. It's very nice to hear about your three wishes. So my next question is as follows. Can you all see it?
Yes.
You are having a nice time with your ex in a restaurant when suddenly your wife enters the same restaurant with an ex, what will you do? You are having a nice time with your ex in a restaurant when suddenly your wife entered with an ex. What will you do? Can I call TM Amita? Is TM Amita here?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Yes.
So, okay, I'm having a nice time with my ex in a restaurant, and my husband comes in with his ex. That's what you mean then?
Yes.
What will I do? Well, number one, when I see my husband with somebody else, I would just go outright and kill him first. I mean, I cannot bear to see him with another lady, for that's for sure. And suppose that doesn't happen immediately, and he happens to approach me, and he asks me, "Who is that guy sitting next to you?" I'll say, "He's just, he's my brother." And a long time brother, we have not met for a long time. You see, I came to Mauritius after a long time, so I happened to see him, and we thought of having a coffee together. So well, we were just having a chat together, and who is this one with you, with all that emotions and everything would come in. But I've always thought about this: if I find that my husband an affair and he didn't share with me, I would dig up the earth and put him under it. So, well, you get to know what kind of person I am now, yeah? Over to you.
Thank you, Amita. Now I know how you are. So let's go for our third question. In fact, okay, I know who I will pick. Okay. You are happily attending the funeral of your worst enemy. Unknowingly, the mother of the deceased asks you to deliver a message in honor of her son. What will you say? It's not Mr. but Mrs. Kiran Dina. You are happily attending the funeral of your worst enemy. Unknowingly, the mother of the deceased asks you to deliver a message in honor of her son. What would you say, Mrs. Pirandina? Please unmute your speaker.
Very embarrassing indeed. I'm known for speaking frankly about my opinion on someone, and now I have to make sure that I don't hurt the family of the deceased more than they are already affected. So I try to look out for some quite good experience, or some good experience that I had with the disease, or something that I have to say about the disease. But believe me that I won't be, it won't be that sugar coated. Definitely, I will have to say that there was something with that the deceased person was known for his good deeds also, but I also remember some of the bad things that he has been doing now, that it should not affect the opinion of others person on the deceased person. I'll be careful to see that I do speak out my opinion, but mostly by respecting uh, the, uh, the opinion of others, because the environment in which I will be speaking at that time will be a funeral. But believe me, if it has been in any other situation, if I have a bad opinion of that person, I would have expressed it as it should be done. Thank you very much. James, over to you.
Thank you, Kiran. Can I ask more questions? Divya?
Actually, we are running ahead out of time quite. So can we stick to only 3 questions if that's okay for you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Okay, thank you very much, James. You definitely did not stick to our theme of the day, but that's okay. Yes. So, timer, can we have the timer's report? Or all our speakers eligible for voting?
Toastmaster of the evening, we had 6 speakers and 1 education session till now, and I'm happy to say that all are qualified.
Great.
Everyone
Thank
stayed
you
on
very
time.
much. Thank you very much. Moving on. I wanted to ask someone from the audience very quickly, if I may. One of the guests is Vandita. Yes. Can you share your thought as a parent?
Oh, thank you. It's wonderful. It's heaven. My daughter is a healer. She's a healer because after losing my son, I was devastated. And when she came a year after, she healed this emotion of not being able to hold my son in my hand, and she shooed away all my cries and sadness. So being a parent is wonderful, paradistic, and it's fun because I'm living my childhood again. I'm spending lots of crazy time with her. We are playing in the mud, we are catching frogs, we are dancing in the rain, caressing the frogs, catching insects, and we do lots of crazy things. If I share with you, you will, I don't know if you will believe that we are really crazy people, but I do crazy stuff with her and I'm happy about that. Over to you.
Thank you very much. That's amazing. I feel bad actually because I'm not a parent yet, but still, I can feel you all. Our parents are repositories of values which should be tapped to embolden our personality instead of championing the use of the blasphemous language. They strive their best to grapple with the generation gap by being our best friend. This Master Jeshta, can you please share any message that you want to say?
I think that parents, they may be called the grey population, but they are certainly not born with a silver spoon in their mouth. And once my mother told me, Jeshta, when money is lost, nothing is lost. When health is lost, something is lost. But when character is lost, everything is lost. Hence, in the same vein, our parents induces us to develop a healthy sense of paranoia, to be wary of the lingering dangers in the society. Hence, I think that they require and deserve all the love, respect, and care. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Jeshta. Moving on to our third section of our meeting tonight, the evaluation section. Our general evaluator needs no introduction. While the world is running at its slowest pace, our GE, also our president, is always trying to beat everyone in the race by pitching for innovative ideas and breaking new grounds to finally make Plateau a golden club. Needless to say, the confinement turned him into an expert filmmaker, film director, and actor of videos. Kudos to you, Mr. President. Let's hear out your report. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Divya. I've taken the role of producer, director, etc. But the role of actor, I think I leave it to Toastmaster Farhan and his sweetie. But before I continue, I'd like to thank Vandita, who had to leave. Her baby's crying for sleep. So thank you, Vandita. She will see it in the recording. And I'm glad to be your G tonight. We have a session based on parents, and we have been hearing quite a number of quotes, sayings on parents, sharings from some of you on parenthood. I'm so grateful for being a parent. I'm so grateful for having parents that I have also, and I'm sure you all are grateful for the parents that you have and that you are as well. And Divya, do not be sad, because once you become a parent, you'll say, I wish I would stay single. Not single. I wish I would not have a child so early. But still, the time will come when the time comes. Now let's move on to our. Actually, it actually applies to J-Star as well. So let's move on to our GE report. But before going to GE, I'd like to call upon I have a team of evaluators with me who are eagerly waiting to evaluate all the speakers that have been speaking earlier on. So I'll call upon Roshan Lotu, who will be evaluating Farhan. So Roshan, the floor is yours. The screen is yours.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Sweetie, I hate you. And smiling, saying, sweetie, I hate you. Farhan, you seem to have enjoyed your speech. Your speech was an informative and a call for action one. When you started your speech, saying that you're going to share about your breakup with Sweetie, I was expecting you will talk about a girl. But no, you've taken me by surprise. You went on to speak about sugar, fructose, lactose. You told us what happens, the consequences. You talk about Coca-Cola, you talk about so many things, in fact, for Sweetie. But nothing on the girl that that I thought you were going to speak about. You mentioned some of the figures, and you were doing the action which matched your speech. 2 spoons of sugar in coffee, 6 spoons of sugar in Coca-Cola. And this causes fat, and also you have heart problems. I like the way you delivered the speech, making us take conscience of the bad things that Sweetie can do to your health. Diabetes in Mauritius is an acute problem, and your speech brought us to take action about Sweetie. One thing that I would have done differently, Farhan, while speaking about Sweetie, is the way you set up the background. You need to understand that you are in a virtual background and you are doing your speech virtually. Having the background, a virtual background, most of the time I was losing your shoulder. I was losing your hands. I couldn't see you do the hand gestures properly because you had only one hand, the other one, I don't know what happened to that. It's because of the background. You need to be very careful when using virtual backgrounds. All in all, I would say that you enjoyed your speech about Sweetie because you have been smiling throughout. And the call for action was for us to hate Sweetie. Well done for that, Farhan. Mr. G, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roshan. Thank you for your evaluation. I would like to just add one small point which actually applies to all the speakers. When we are on site, we have the possibility to move to different angles, you know, on the stage to state our points, and we have the possibility to use eye contact. But since we are behind the screen, we cannot use all these facilities, all these possibilities. So it would be good if you can have your voice projection and work on your pitch when you have actually your delivery, because when it's in one single tone, it tends to lose the audience at some point. So when you modulate your voice and stress on items, it can create more impact. But overall, I thought it was a nice speech which you delivered with ease. Thank you so much. Now let's move on to evaluator number 2, Sharif, who is eagerly waiting to evaluate his speaker. Over to you, Sharif.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. So Subiraj, congratulations. And more importantly, thank you. Thank you for taking me back to my Toastmasters journey. When I joined Toastmasters, one of the very reasons is that we try to minimize our filler words. I liked the way you presented your proposal. It was a prodigious proposal for sure. You explained the necessity to communicate without using filler words. Your proposal clearly defined the usefulness to improve communication among your colleagues. And this by applying what you have learned and achieved as being an accountant at Toastmasters. Yes, thank you for being the ambassador of Toastmasters at your work. Subiraj, as required in your assignment, you presented a prodigious and well-organized plan with defined tasks. I could easily relate these tasks, the list of 13 tasks that you had, with when you were sharing it, starting with the approval with the management and ending with the presentation of your results, going through the 5 accounting reports that you intend to do. Well done for that. I liked it. Subiraj, as a Toastmaster, allow me to share 2 tips with you that I would have done differently if I had to do this assignment. First, I would have looked at the screen. Viankos has been just talking on eye contact. One thing that I've just learned some weeks back is to look at your camera. At times, I felt that you were looking at your notes. So one thing is that you can look at the camera or 1 centimeter below the camera. And secondly, I felt that your conclusion was a bit abrupt. Once the timer mentioned that 7 minutes were over, you just said, over to you. I would have gone back to the role of counter, the importance of our counter, or how I'm going to use it at work, and then smoothly. Subiraj, what I like most in your delivery is your sincerity as a Toastmaster. You are really the ambassador of Toastmaster at your work. You are going to share what you have learned as a Toastmaster to your colleagues. Well done for that. I liked it. To conclude, Subiraj, good detailed plan, sincere ambassador of Toastmasters. 2 tips: work on your eye contact and work on having a smooth conclusion. Overall, well done. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sharif. Subiraj, I like your delivery as well. One tip which I can recommend again to all the speakers, including myself. When we are behind the screen, we have the tendency to sit and look at the camera. And I've gone through some contests, and I see that the speakers they stand with the background so that they can have hand movement and they can move around. And I saw that in some speakers. So I would recommend that for other speeches that we do, for all of us actually, not just you, Subiraj, that we find a position that we can stand and we can actually use our hand movement. We can. So Christian is saying no. Maybe he will say he will talk about that later on. But seeing somebody sitting and talking, and probably when you're sitting behind your laptop, you have something that you're reading, and we're somehow losing the grip with being on stage and not having to read, because when you're behind the screen, you might be reading. We are assuming that you're not. But if you are reading, that means you're somehow it's not cheating, but it's like you're fooling yourself. So let's try to do things in a different way so that we are able to improve on our own delivery. That's the recommendation. It's an overall recommendation, not just specifically to you. Thank you so much, Sharif. Let's move on to Jesha, our third evaluator, who is going to evaluate speaker number 3. Over to you, Jesha.
Starting from the bathroom to Hawaii with a pina colada and to sitting on top of the trees, Toastmaster Mira, who captivated and aroused everyone's attention. What an enlightening speech! 2 things which I like about your speech are, number 1, the use of stories. Storytelling paints mental pictures by making complex information memorable and easy to process. You weaved 5 concrete, innovative anecdotes so that your students understand the gist of the message. And it is an ingenious technique to illuminate the brain. Number 2, vocal variety. I could decipher the passion, zeal, and enthusiasm that you were feeling when delivering your speech. You actually went into the shoes of the different characters by using a serious tone for the moral of the story, a happy tone when talking about the message at Hawaii, or energetic tone when talking from the point of view of the young, sexy girl. Now, let me give you 2 ingredients that you can use to spruce up your speech. Number 1, questions. Being a lecturer, it is always commendable to ask questions to ensure that the students have understood the key message, or asking them if they can relate any particular lesson to their personal life. There is a saying that says, learning by doing, and I'm sure by racking their brain, the key messages will be further reinforced. Number 2, power of the pause, or what's called a pregnant pause in Toastmasters. By squeezing all the information, it will squeeze the audience out. Hence, silence is golden. Once you are done with one argument, pause. Allow the audience to digest and muse on that. Then continue. Using micro pauses promotes active listening and sparks interest, as it will magnify the force of your words. Overall, it was a prodigious speech with the right dose of stories, eye contact, and vocal variety. By challenging the recommendations through asking constructive questions and using pregnant pauses, will elevate your speech to another level. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jeshta. In terms of delivery for Mira, I think she had a very poised delivery. What I like today is that, and I'm given to understand that last week she had bandwidth issues. Today there was no bandwidth issues, there was no network connectivity problems, and she could deliver her speech very thoroughly. So what I would recommend is for all of you as role players, there's a site called speedtest.net. So before you actually move on to a certain room, just check your bandwidth and ensure that your bandwidth is not fluctuating, or it's not low bandwidth, so that we don't lose you in the connection. That will ensure that we actually get a clarity of your speech delivery or your role play. So thank you, Mira. And thank you to all the speakers and the evaluators for your content delivery tonight. Now, let's move on to the role players. We have Toastmaster Shivani, who actually had some network issues, but I don't know whether she's here. Shivani? TME Divya, do you know if Shivani is here?
Yes, she was here.
Okay, I see she has unmuted herself. Shivani, are you there?
Yeah.
Do I need to share my report? Is it my time to share my report?
Yes, indeed. Are you there, Shivani? I think she's stuck or frozen somewhere.
Yes, she's frozen, right?
Yeah, so let's move on to Vishali. When we get back, Shivani, then we'll ask her to jump in again. Vishali, please share your report for tonight.
So, dear fellow Toastmasters, as an accountant, I was prodigiously served. I could hear many filler words and repetition of words. So the report goes like that. Our TME tonight, Divya, used so thrice. Roshan said twice. Farhan and Mira are out of the list. They didn't use any filler words. Shubiraj used I many times. What I will, much, my own many times. Dr. Vandita said the, which, and it is many times. When I say many times, is more than 5 times. Kiran used and many times, many times, some many times. Well, Yankoj used many times. Krishna repeated it thrice, and Jeshta used many times. That's all for my report. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Vishali. Shivani, are you back with us? Nope. So until she's back, I know we have been using lots of prodigious words. I think most of us have been using prodigious, and it would be nice to have prodigious Shivani there, but maybe later on. So let me give my my report, and then we'll move on to the timer to give us the final report. I'm also being evaluated in terms of timing. I'd like to thank, and I think we all have to applaud TME Divya, who has readily accepted the role of TME yesterday, was it, Divya? Yeah, so it was yesterday she accepted the role of TME. She has readily jumped into that role. She has mastered the session beautifully. She has taken off, she has taken the pain and the task to get an introduction of everyone. She introduced everybody. So congratulations, Divya. This shows how you've been progressing, how you've been growing with the club, and how you, as a leader, you're progressing with Toastmasters as well. So thank you, Toastmaster Divya, and I'd like also to thank Toastmaster Vandita, who also jumped in at the last minute. Actually, this morning I asked her if she could jump in an educational session, and she said outright yes without any questions. The second point I want to raise is, I've already mentioned it, is about the bandwidth issue. Please make sure that you actually check your network connectivity. But I like the fact that for the grammarian, we already know the word of the day, so we already know the definition of the word, and we can actually use it. So even if somebody is having an issue, we had a backup plan in terms of the grammarian. Having already said the word of the day. I saw Divya introducing the guest, Toastmaster Amita and her husband, who came in after a while, and she introduced them during the session. That was timely done, so thank you. And I like also the fact that we are, after each speaker, we are allocating 1 minute to send a message privately to the speakers. I'm sure I can guarantee that the speakers are actually benefiting from this personal evaluation from all of us, because sometimes the evaluator only has one to 2 minutes to say a certain number of things, but we all can contribute by saying by giving other recommendations to the speakers, and this I think is being beneficial. Overall, I think it was a nice session. We're still ahead of time, and I like the session today. And it's about parenting. We have been talking about parents for quite a while. Afterwards, we'll have a toast on parenting. So, very nice, Divya. Over to you. But before, let's hear from the timer.
General evaluator. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, but you need to turn off
Yes,
your
yes, you
background.
are.
It's fine. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, very
okay.
audible.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. General evaluator and TME and fellow Toastmasters. Today, everybody stayed on time. That's my report. The major report is that everybody stayed on time. But we did allocate extra minutes for evaluation, personal evaluation to the speakers, which is of great benefit to the speakers. So let's not consider that as lost time. We will consider it as positive. Considering the evaluators, all of them stayed within time. Actually, Roshan did take a bit more time, but I'm putting him as qualified because there was a technical problem with my screen also. So I am also to be blamed. So we will consider that all the 3 evaluators are on time and will be voted for. We started right on time at 7 and we are now at 8:48 p.m. I think we are well within our allocated time of 2 hours for the session. So that's a great going for the TME, and back to you, Evaluator. General evaluator, you want to take back from me, or
Yeah.
TME will take back?
I see Shivani is there. Shivani, are you able to send your report now?
Am I audible now? Okay. First of all, I tried to take note of the use of grammar. So hopefully I'll do justice to it. But because of poor internet connection, I don't know how much I have noted. So here I go with my report today. First of all, I must say I've been served with the word prodigious, prodigiously by Subiraj, Sharif, Farhan. If anyone else has used it, sorry, I couldn't take note of that. Everyone made really a good use of English grammar, like snowball effect, abrupt, master of your emotions, endless supply of peniculades, nibble of some, promptly spotted. To be sitting idle, you need to be in cheap seat. Sugar-coated, grapple with their generation, silver spoon, lingering dangers, call for action is as deadly as drugs, popularize the concept of our counter, storytelling paints pictures, zest of message, zeal, sparks interest. Uday,
I think we lost her again. So we will ask Shivani to send us a written report maybe, and she can share it on WhatsApp. So thank you, Shivani, and thank you all the role players. And I'll pass on now to Divya, who will take over the session. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much, our general evaluator. The polling is out. Can you please vote for your best speaker, your best evaluator, and the best table topic speaker? You have few seconds left. We have 9 out of 11 who have voted already. So please complete your vote. Few minutes, few seconds left. 10 out of 11 vote, 1 left. Okay. Think we can end the polling now? Yes, so we close the polling. Before sharing the final results of who are the best speakers, evaluators, and tables topic speakers, I would like you all to raise a toast along with, if the time allows, yes, we do have few more minutes. Yes. Do you have your mug, your glass, your... Yeah, I will not ask you what you filled in your glasses or mug, but still, mine is transparent with the virtual background here. So let's start. I invite you all to raise a toast as we celebrate so many special occasions. to our dear parents for their unflinching support, to Toastmasters International for paving our leadership pathways. Finally, to Plateau Toastmasters for having won the Golden Award Club and achieved its TI objectives. We raise a toast to everyone present and all our Toastmasters at Plateau. There we are. Congratulations to everyone. I would like to now share the results for the best speaker. And the best speaker for tonight is, we don't have a drum or drum rolling, nothing.
This is Krishan, the DJ.
DJ.
Give me a few seconds. Can you entertain the
Sure.
audience? Give me a few seconds.
Yes.
Can we have someone from the audience who have not spoken yet to share their views? If we have, can we have
Faisal is here.
Master
yeah,
Faisal.
Faisal. This Master Faisal, can you share your good news with us? Being a grandparent again.
He's muted.
Okay, this is the second time I had become grandfather to Salima. And in fact, when the lockdown was lit up, the first thing that we decided to do is to visit my in-laws. I no longer have my parents, so I asked my wife, let's go and visit your mom. We went to Mayberg, stayed there Monday. And on Monday, I get the news that Salima was admitted in the clinic. And in the evening, she gave birth to her second child. So that was very, 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 very happy moment. And also we plan to have tonight to have a gathering with all my daughters. And we just have had a family dinner tonight because Salima left the hospital clinic tonight, this evening, and came home with the two children and all the families. We had just had a dinner, and that was a very special moment. Yes. I believe I am only the only grandparent in Plateau Toastmasters Club. I believe.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Faisal. Can we hear from Toastmaster Amita? Can your husband also is a Toastmaster, right?
Yes.
We would like to hear from him as well.
Okay. Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity, Toastmaster Divya. I had a wonderful time tonight. Actually, I've been sitting here right from the beginning. So basically, I am the president of my Toastmasters Club. Our club is Galaxy Toastmasters Club. We are based in Doha. But for some personal reasons, we had to leave Qatar, and now we are back in Mauritius. So we are looking to see how and when we could be able to join Toastmaster fraternity here in Mauritius. So we had a wonderful time. If you allow me, you can make some suggestions to improve or my own take of tonight's meeting. I had been hearing a few times about you being called TME. Actually, we should be calling Toastmaster of the Day because, and we should not call TM, but it's Toastmaster. Anytime we are addressing to any speaker or any role player, it should not be called TM Divya or TM Rashid, but it should be Toastmaster Divya. Okay. And it's not TMOD, TME, because remember a day is 24 hours. So there's no daytime meeting. Sometimes you confuse, you say daytime meeting, we call it Toastmaster of the Day, and evening time, or we call Toastmaster evening, but that's not the case. One more thing, I noted a very innovative way of table topics being run by your table topics master tonight. So kudos to him, very good, very job well done. And one more suggestion is that it's not only the speakers, but whenever evaluators are invited to give their evaluations, as you know, we are here, everyone, to improve ourselves, our ability to speak in front of our audience. And one of the things that we should do is to uplift the morale and make the person whom we are inviting to speak in front of everybody feel good, feel proud of himself. And one of the ways of doing this is to give him a good introduction. So even evaluators and speakers and role players, they need to be introduced in a way that makes them feel confident now to come, after being introduced, to come and speak to the audience. And one last suggestion I may have is, okay, we vote for a best evaluator, best speaker, best table topic speaker, but there are also many people who have taken the time to prepare and make this meeting of tonight to work, who are the role players. So my suggestion would be also to vote for a best role player in every meeting. That will not only encourage them, but will give other members who are a little bit hesitant and don't want to come forward to take roles. I'm sure you must also be having such situations where you're relying only on few members who are willing to come forward and take roles. Like yourself, I just learned from the general evaluator that you were only told yesterday to take up. So you are very courageous, actually, I should say. But like you, every other member should be willing to take roles. And this is how we start, by taking small roles and start coming out of our shell and start speaking in front of an audience. So if you introduce this best role player, maybe people will also feel a little bit more willing to come and take up those roles. And lastly, I would say that you did a fabulous job tonight, and kudos to you and well done, and keep it up. And thank you again for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated. We'll take most of your recommendations, suggestion on board.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Christian. All good. For the best speaker, I would like to share my screen. Best speaker of the evening is ta-da, Mira. Best speaker of the evening. Congratulations to you, Mira.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I will save this certificate.
Yeah, sure. I will send it to you.
Thank you.
Our best evaluator for tonight is Keshta.
I cannot do, Madam TME, I cannot do a drum roll while you're sharing as well.
Okay, please go ahead.
It's all right. I think let's forget the drum roll for this segment because only one person can share. Please go ahead. I'll give you an applause afterwards.
No problem. And finally, our best table topic speaker is none other than Krishan Ramcharan. Congratulations, Krishan. And congratulations to all our speakers tonight.
Thank you.
Mira wanted to actually speak about something about so her role as a parent.
Yeah, actually, I felt inspired when after hearing Amita, Toastmaster Amita and Toastmaster Vanita. I felt like, every time I was complaining because all the work that come with kids, all the work around, so that you have to see everything, dress them, cook for them, homework, etc. So I overlooked all the other emotions. And that's why I wanted to share, because today's theme really is fantastic about parenthood. So I feel, firstly, I feel pride in having two handsome boys, and one looked like his father and another one looks like me. So thank you, God. I also feel that I'm grateful to have them with me, because they are my friends, actually. They are my little friends with whom I play, with whom I share everything. I also smack when I need to punish them when they disobey, and I cajole them with chocolates afterwards. So they are my pets, in one word. And to summarize all this, I feel like a prodigious mother, really. And I wanted to share this with you. A saying on Mother's Day, I got this, I don't know if you will see it. If it's a family picture. They got it framed for me. And there is a beautiful saying. I read it. Motherhood is a million little moments that God weaves together with grace, laughter, tears, and most of all, love. So this is my gift that I wanted to share you, because I'm a proud mother of my two kids. Thank you. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Can we hear from Roshan your message as a parent or gratitude?
Thank you, Toastmaster Divya. I would say my experience as parent, I have two young daughters now. One is doing her third year university in Mauritius, and one is at secondary schools. But as a parent, I feel that my parents have wanted me to have the best. And this is what I want for my daughters as well. I want them to have the best. Just to share an anecdote with you, I know time is running, but just I would like to share an anecdote. My little daughter, when she was in primary school, uh, I was at work and I got a call from the school saying that I need to come back to school and take her because she got injured. I said, okay, no problem. I will come in the afternoon. They told me, no, it's urgent. You need to come. So what happened, I went to school and there I was told that while she was playing with her friends, she got injured in her leg, ankle. So I took her and I was going to the hospital. I took her to the clinic. They did the necessary things there, radio, and the doctor came and said that it's more than a fracture and she will need an operation in her ankle. I was shocked because I was the only one in clinic with her. My wife was working, and I looked at the doctor and told him, "Oh, I thought it was a simple injury. We would just put a plaster and we'll go home." And he told me, "No, it's a bit more serious, and we will need to do the operation." Well, my first thought was, I'm in the clinic, how much that will cost me? And he told me that will cost around 100,000. Now I realize that if she's going to have the operation, she will need to stay in hospital. And I didn't tell my wife anything about that incident yet. And I was thinking how I will tell her that she got injured and she will need to undergo an operation. The doctor looked at me and said, take your time and think about it, and you tell me. Because he was thinking that I was thinking about the 100,000 rupees. But I was thinking I will announce the news of the event that my daughter has just went through and need an operation. So I got her admitted, and I called my wife and told her that there was a little problem with our daughter, and she's in hospital and clinic, and she needs an operation. And my wife said, "What happened? Why didn't you tell me earlier?" And it happened that as a parent, whether you are the father or the mother, all that you want as a parent and sincerely is the best for your child. It is no more or no less. This is my experience that I wanted to share with you as a parent. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Roshan. I would like to hand over the session to our president, and thank you all for attending today's session. My pleasure. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Divya. Thank you, Toastmaster Divya. And I think we can give a big round of applause. We cannot make noise, but we can actually make the movement and show her how we appreciate her role that she had undertaken today. I won't be long because we're already 9 minutes over time. I have 2 items on my business session. Firstly is the holding of sessions during June. So for the past 3 months, we've been having a weekly session. But now as we move on to deconfinement, we are resuming work, and we have decided at the level of the executive committee to reduce the number of sessions that we are holding. So for the month of June, we're going to have 3 sessions. Today is the first one. Then we'll have one on 16 June as a normal club session. And on 30th June, it's going to be a special session, as it's going to be the installation ceremony for the new club officers. Okay, so we are going to have three sessions this month, today, the 16th and the 30th being the installation ceremony. And eventually in July, the new mandate will announce how we will be holding future sessions. Second item on my business session is the Plateau Toastmasters Club through Christian and team are organizing an online speechcraft, which is starting as from the 6th of June. We already have 10 participants, and we need advisors. Christian, just correct me if I'm wrong. We need advisors to help evaluate the participants. We have 10 participants during 6 Saturdays. So any of you who would like to contribute as advisors to the sessions, please come forward, send your names, and we'll take it through. Okay. So that ends my business session. I'm done for now. I'll hand over to Divya, who will gladly close the session afterwards. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I think I don't have anything else to say. If anyone wants to share their own message or thought on parent before we close the session. And not to forget that we will surely have an after party before we close the recording as well. Who have not spoken? Timer.
I think I'm the only one who didn't speak.
Yeah, I think. Oh, Subiraj also, Farhan. You have your chance.
Okay, then I will go first.
Yeah, sure.
I think I'll split my life into 3 parts. You know, the first part when I was a daughter, just the daughter. And then the second part came when I became a wife and a mother. And now there is a third part to it. I am now coming back to my parents, because in 2019, beginning onwards, I have shifted my focus back to my parents. There was a time when my father was very sick last year, and as you all know, he passed away last May. We lost him to an illness, so we knew that this was coming. And I'm the only child, and I was lucky enough that I was able to spend some time with him because I had left my job in the Gulf, and by God's grace, my job still stayed because I was still working from home, and I was able to stay with him during his last days, and we had a nice time together. When he handed over a lot of things, even including his accounts, he was a very meticulous man, and that was a time when he handed over many things, and the last thing he handed over to me in the ICU was my mother. And I'm taking care of her now. She's with me here, just like he wanted me to. And now I'm enjoying this time with her. I hope she is too. Because now we are back to a place where we were much earlier in the first part of my life. That we were very good friends, where I used to share everything with her. And then I moved on to another life. And then I'm back with her. It's a time that I think God has given me. It's an opportunity that I have got to be with her, to give back whatever I have received. And it's my time of gratitude. That's it.
Thank you very much. I know you've been very emotional, and the theme itself is about parent. As I said in my first, I mentioned that there would be some emotions during the session, and indeed we had emotions. Have I missed anyone else? Farhan, do you want to share anything?
What I want to say is I'm not a parent yet. I'm not married. But what I witness every day is that I can see how lucky my parents are to have a son like me.
Oh, shut up.
I'm sure Toastmaster Sheriff will concur with me. What is it to be lucky to have a son like me? It's golden. Well, on a serious note, well, this was serious too, but on an emotional note, if it wasn't for our parents, none of us would be where we are today. Although we may not sometimes be eye to eye, we may not see eye to eye, the love and wisdom that they share with us must never, never, ever be forgotten. This is my message that crop up my mind right away. Thank you.
Thank you. Krishan.
Madam Tiami, I'm giving you this gavel, this makeup gavel, which I wanted to hit Farhan with earlier, but now I'm going to retract it. I'll hand it over to Sharif. Sharif, this is for you. Let's gavel this session out and let's start the entertainment session. But it's also going to be educational, so over to you to close the session and hand it back to me, if you can.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope you liked the session. And let's move on to the